This is the second part of my all quarantine zones video, where I go through all quarantine zones in Old Town. Unlike in the previous episode, I will do a full walkthrough of these locations because they are much more convoluted and interesting than the ones in the slums. The quarantine zones in Old Town are much more scarier and dangerous than the ones in the slums. This is mostly due to the fact that the infection first started spreading in Sector 0, and thus it features many unique and rare powerful infected. The first and most popular quarantine zone is the Three Moons restaurant. Just like with any other zone in Sector 0, the main goal of the developers was to scare the player as much as possible, and consequently demonstrate all the horrors of the outbreak. As soon as you enter the quarantine zone, you have to go downstairs to find a package, and a man that did something very bad to himself, and then on the way out, a pipe jump scare will appear. It's so simple yet effective. Then, once you enter the main hall, a zombie will drop on the piano, making a lot of noise and waking up all the infected. But fortunately enough, there will be an electrified pool of water nearby, so you can simply push the zombies into it. On the second floor, on the left side, will be a GRE box and a package in an elevator shaft with a screamer that will make noise and wake up other infected. Also, you can't attack the zombies that fake their deaths, but you can use your explosive devices to actually kill them, which is quite strange and not effective at all, as you're spending one grenade on a simple zombie. You can also open the elevator on the top, but it wouldn't contain anything. Then, proceeding to the bar counter, you will find another package and some money. There will be also a locked door that will lead into another room, and again, once you push the closet out of the way, it will make noise, waking up the infected. Here you can also find a package, a hard lock chest, and 2 GRE boxes. Then, if we go to the bathroom section, once you open the door in the women's bathroom, a male zombie will jump onto you, which is quite strange. But he will also reveal a package. And then if you go down from there, you will find the last GRE box. The second quarantine zone are the new Atlanta apartments. They are quite similar to the Sunny apartments because you can find regular crafting materials and that's it. Despite being in a similar building, the quarantine zone is completely different, something that Dying Light 2 miserably failed to do. Speaking of which, let me know down in the comments if you want a video about why Dying Light 2 is bad, and most importantly, how to fix it. In terms of the overall tone and atmosphere, the Atlanta apartments have to be the best quarantine zone in the entire game, as the first floor doesn't contain any biters, and it's quite eerie to explore an empty room with noises of infected screaming, but at the same time you have classic music playing in the background, which contradicts the danger and it creates a very great tone. Take a listen. As I said before, the first floor doesn't contain any enemies. But if you push this cupboard, you will get access to a secret area with enemies and a package. On the next floor, you'll find biters, and if you go to your right, you will find a locked room with a bunch of virals, but there will be no loot whatsoever. Then if you go to the next apartment, you'll find a room full of fake biters. Also, I have no idea why, but on top of all these zombies will be exactly 3 packages, which is obviously a glitch, but it always occurs with fake bodies in quarantine zones, and I have no idea what causes this. Here will be a GRE box and another cupboard that will contain a screamer that will wake up all the infected, just like in the previous quarantine zone. And he will be also guarding a package. Going to the 3rd floor, in the first room you'll find nothing except one single GRE box, which looks quite strange, and in the other room next to it will be a lot of biters, but also 2 more GRE crates. And in the last room you will find the 4th package alongside the source of the music that you could hear in the entire building, and shutting it off completely changes the atmosphere, as you are now in silence, surrounded by people who chose the easy way out. Let's change the tone a little by going to exterminate tons of zombies in the parking lot. This place is unique in the fact that it contains a total of 5 bombers and 2 goons, which makes up for a very good method to farm special Dying Light bounties on the official Techland GG website. Also, let me know down in the comments if you want a guide about the most effective way to complete all of these bounties. But that's not all, because this is also the best place to farm GRE crates, as you can get all 5 in under 2 minutes, alongside a hard lock chest and some lockers. But if you want to complete the quest, I recommend you use the camouflage skill paired with the takedown attack. Just remember that bombers can still see you and will explode if you approach them. And in terms of the goons, I recommend you leave them for last, as if you shoot, you will immediately use your cover. Also, one trick I just found out is that there is a door that leads to the other side of the parking lot without you having to go around. But it's not very useful, as the parking lot is one of the smallest quarantine zones in Dying Light, which makes it even stranger that this area contains so many zombies, even if the workers couldn't get out in time. The final quarantine zone is the Striped Dragon Hotel. It is actually quite similar to the quest Shadow of the King, where you also explore a abandoned hotel. Speaking of which, let me know down in the comments if you want a video about the best side missions in Dying Light, because there are quite a few of them. As soon as you enter the area, you will see a package you cannot get. We will instead have to start at the very last floor and go down from there. It is also important to note that there will be many bags in the hotel where you can find money and sometimes crafting materials. The 3rd floor will contain lots of zombies, so make sure to clear them out. Also, you can use guns, as this is yet another quarantine zone where virals will not spawn even if you make some noise. If you go to your left, in rooms 322 and 321, you will find 2 GRE boxes, alongside some regular loot, of course. Next we have room 325 that would also contain 2 GRE crates, but they will be protected by a bomber. And if you go in the next room, you will find a package. Now going on to the 2nd floor, it contains less valuable loot but more packages alongside with weaker zombies. For example, room 102 will contain a package that will be guarded by virals and a screamer. In addition to this, if you lockpick the door next to it, you will also get access to the final GRE crate in this quarantine zone. The room on the opposite side of the 4th floor will yet again contain a package guarded by a bomber. And the last package required to complete this quarantine zone will be located in the elevator shaft we saw when we first entered the hotel. So that's it for all quarantine zones in Old Town. I apologize for this video being quite short, it's just that I'm planning to move on to Elden Ring instead of just infinitely doing Dying Light videos.